Welcome back, everybody. My name is Andrew and this is Kite Army. Today we're going to take this boring wall right here and transform it into this beautiful accent wall using shiplap wood. Now the cool thing is once we put that shiplap wood up there, we're going to be waterproof. It's going to be totally seaworthy. Right? Well, maybe not waterproof, but it's definitely gonna look super cool. Now, the other cool thing about this project is it's not too difficult. You can probably get this done in a weekend. It doesn't really require a lot of specialized tools, and also the cost is not too much for the result you get. But if none of that matters to you, the other cool thing is you get to use a nail gun. So let's first talk about the shiplap wood. Here it is right here. You can see it's got these laps already cut into it like this. And this is how we bought it, so you don't have to do that. We also bought it with this finish, which is kind of a whitewash finish on it. And it also has a really natural texture, which is what we're looking for to give you that authentic shiplap look. Now this wood costs about $14 for a piece that is 6 inches wide by 8 feet long. And as I said, we bought them at Home Depot and they were ready to be installed. We required about 20 pieces for this full wall right here. So the total cost for materials for this project was about $300. So one of the things I really like about this project is you can make lots of imperfections during your install and still get a great aesthetic. It actually adds to the aesthetic. Now the tools you're gonna need for this project are really simple. You can go all hand tools or go all power tools. So let's start with the hand tool list. First off, you're gonna need a decent saw. Next, you're gonna need a level so you can keep that wood nice and level. The next thing you're gonna need is a stud finder like this. That helps you locate the studs behind the drywall so you can nail the wood to those studs. And the last thing, of course, is a trusty hammer. Now for those guys out there just like me who prefer power tools, I don't want you to feel left out. Don't worry, we're gonna add a power sliding miter saw to the list. We're gonna add a jigsaw to cut around light switches and power outlets. And lastly, my favorite, the nail gun. So now that we've got that out of the way, let's actually start the project. So for step one, we're gonna determine where our studs are located behind the sheetrock. Now the reason why you need to know where these studs are is because that's actually where we're gonna attach your shiplap to. That's the most secure part on the wall. Let me show you how to do that. So hopefully you have an electric stud finder like this. What you do is you place it on the wall, push the button, and move it left to right. You see that signal right there? That means it detected something behind the wall, and clearly this is gonna be a stud. So what we wanna do is right on that line, we wanna put a mark. Here we go, there's our mark. Now you wanna do the same thing on the bottom of the wall with the stud finder. Then once you got your mark on the bottom of the wall and the top of the wall, you actually draw a line so you can see where that stud is located. Perfect. So many shiplap installers suggest the first piece you install is right up here, right up top where the wall meets the ceiling. So it's really critical when you install that piece that it's nice and level because that will set the level for the remainder of the wall as you work down. So take your time on that first piece. Let me show you how to get started. So let's go ahead and install our first piece of shiplap. Put it against the ceiling. The ceiling's right here, here's the wall. Make sure your lap joint, this piece right here, is showing and facing down. Now the next thing you're gonna wanna do is make sure you get your level and make sure the bubble in that level is nice and centered. If it's not, you might have to adjust the piece down this way or this way. So make those adjustments. It's really critical this first piece is installed properly. So once you've got it level, get your nail gun and go ahead and install that piece of shiplap to the wall. So the nail gun I'm using in today's video is this Ryobi Airstrike. This is a battery powered nail gun. So that means you do not need an air compressor to power this. It's really convenient. It's powered by the Ryobi 18 volt 1 Plus battery, and it uses 18 gauge brads. Are right here. So these are 2.5 inches long. The nice thing about these nails is they're long enough to go through your shiplap, through your drywall, and secure the wood into the studs. So now that you have your top piece installed, you put your next layer on, and just make sure they're cut nice and tight. Everything still remains level. You're gonna nail them on the stud lines that you put before. So get it up nice and tight. You see my seam looks even, the bottom looks even. Get your nail gun and go about an inch from the top on that stud line and an inch from the bottom on that stud line. Now where two pieces join, go right on the end and angle into the stud just a little bit. 1, 2. Now against a frame, you do the same thing, just a little bit of an angle, top and bottom. And now that piece is nice and secure. So when you're installing a cut piece, make sure the joint is right on the joist mark that we put on the wall. So find that joist mark and mark it on the material and cut at that spot. So it's time for the first pro tip. If you're installing a piece of wood that goes against a wall like this, you want a really nice clean seam. The way you accomplish that is you actually cut the piece of wood with a bevel on it. You can see this is angled right there. And that angle means it'll go right into that corner and fit really snugly against that other wall. So if you have a switch or an outlet in the area where you want to install the shiplap, the first thing you have to do, and let me stress this, is make sure you turn off your power. Check it once, check it twice, check it 3 times, make sure you've got no power. So when you're cutting your shiplap to accommodate the switch or electrical outlet, do your best to try to match the size of the box here. Don't worry about how your sheetrock is cut. If you do it right, the wings of the switch here will overlap with the shiplap, and then you'll replace the screws that attach the switch or outlet to the wall with longer screws so it'll fit flush on the outside of your shiplap. Subscribe, like, and comment, and then let's rush over to that next awesome Kite Army video. I'll see you over there.